In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make insane progress to your goals and put in a lot of hard work and a lot of reps without actually starting to get symptoms of burnout or I can't do this anymore or starting to doubt everything, and how to actually be disciplined in what you do without it being too complicated for your brain. I don't know if that makes sense, but essentially, when you want to achieve crazy goals in business or whenever you want to do this, you have to put in a lot of work. But when you just work like all day long permanently, then you can't do this. And today I want to explain you how to actually do this and find something in between that actually enables you to work harder than if you would work all the time, and you still have some time left and you can actually progress. And to give you some reference why I can talk about that and I have some idea, in the past couple of months, I built an entire outbound system with in KPI basically, which means that I can now just run it over and over again because I did all the testing, did like thousands of outreaches for that to get like proof of concept that everything is working. And usually, I don't know, like many other people actually have finished something like that. And yeah, so pretty much how this works is that when you have a certain amount of work and you know that it's too much, then you know that you need to decrease the number, obviously. And you also know that there's a certain number that you can already work on for a longer time without starting to get problems or struggles with doubting like what you do. Because especially in business, when you're working a lot and you don't do much other things because you just want to achieve your goals quickly, there are going to be a lot of times when you just start to doubt everything that you do and you feel you're very short from quitting. It can happen within days if you work all the time, and that's why you need to find like some spot where you're not working all the time but a bit less. And the best way to do this is to set yourself a certain time where you know that you can do this. For example, when I did this a couple of months ago, I set it for 6 hours, and I knew that when I was working 6 hours a day, then I'm very, very likely not going to quit. And it's very easily sustainable, actually. And what you do then is that you simply just add 5 minutes every single day to that amount. So if you start on Monday, you work 6 hours, then on Tuesday, you work 6 hours and 5 minutes. Then on that, then you have 6 hours, 10 minutes, 6 hours, 50 minutes, etc., to a point where you start to realize that it's actually getting pretty hard again to really keep that amount up, which is probably like 8, 9 hours maybe. And that is pretty much a certain amount that you can keep without struggling or without having problems with that. So that's the first thing, how you can achieve insane goals pretty quick when you just have like the hours. Another thing that you have to do, or that you probably should do, because I don't know many people who are pretty effective when they do it in a different way, is that you want to have as little working blocks as possible. So when you, for example, have 8 hours of work, then you don't want to split this into 8 different blocks who are each like 1 hour long, or 16 blocks who are 30 minutes long. You want to rather have maybe like 2 blocks. You have one block where you work from when you get up to noon straight, and then you have another block for after that, because I think like working 8 hours straight without any break in between is a bit ridiculous, because then you can't focus like in the last couple of hours. And if you can't tell, I'm like, even right now I have like some struggles actually like finding the right words, because I worked since like 6 hours right now straight. Because you know, you want to work straight, because if you have like a lot of interruptions, then you can't even get flow, because each time when you stop working, you're focused on something else. Means A, you get different thoughts, and B, your brain doesn't have context about what you just did. And for example, when you're just working on some particular project, for example, in my case right now is writing stuff for my clients, and I'm working, for example, for a specific client right now, and then I take a little break and move on with the work, then my mind doesn't have like some certain information right now on hand that I can use for continuing writing. And for example, when I just have this in one block, in the second 30-minute part, for example, from two 30-minute parts, meaning like 1 hour, then I can, my brain can subconsciously access information from the beginning of that work block and improve it for that. And which means that I can probably finish what I will otherwise need like maybe 1 hour for. I could finish that in 45 minutes or 50 minutes. So when you just put together, especially similar tasks that you have, which could be like sending outreach, for example, or writing something, or I don't know, recording a YouTube video, although I'm obviously not like making like 20 YouTube videos or something, but you want to group similar tasks into the same block. And when you have like multiple blocks, the best way to do it is that you just have a certain block attributed to just one type of task. And once you're finished with all the tasks for the day or whatever, then you finish the block. You can't even take a break, or you just go into the next thing immediately. So that's another way, very important, to group your tasks. And that's pretty much like the most high leverage thing. Obviously, you have to know like what the tasks are actually and what to focus on there. And I guess if I talked about that, then the video will be like 5 hours long. So I just wanted to make this video pretty simple for this video. So a little recap is, first of all, find an amount that's not too high where you're just working 10, 12 hours per day. Because if you do this, then you're just taking away energy from tomorrow each day. And at some point, you just have like a year or like a couple of months debt in energy, and you can't keep working because it just freaks with your mind. You get depressed and everything. But obviously you want to, certainly, especially when you want to achieve something quickly, you need a lot of time for that. So you still want to have a lot of time. And the way to do this is just that you just take a time that you can already execute on, and you know that you could do this forever, technically, if you wanted. And then you just want to add like five minutes per day, until you realize, okay, now it's about at a point where it's starting to get a bit hard to sustain that. And the other thing is that when you have different types of tasks, that you want to put them into blocks, and you want to into the same blocks, and you want to have as little blocks of work each day, optimally like 2, maybe 3 or 4. This is pretty much the ideal thing. So that's how you increase your productivity and achieve things quickly without burning out or getting stressed or starting to get a lot of doubt. And I hope you can use this right now as an actionable step. Just schedule some stuff there for your plan for the multiple days that you have in the week. And I'll see you in the next one.